what you expect, nigga, switch perspectives. You know she got objectives, point of trying to lecture. Don't let that shit affect you, just let the bros protect you. In the end, flip the script, she must be glad she met you. Yeah, see now I'm feeling masculine.
Welcome back to Opinionated, the podcast, season 3. I'm your host, Joshua Hicks, and alongside me, as always, my brother from another mother, Ree Washington. And today, we have Kansas City's own Chiefs in the building. Cornell Powell, how you doing, my brother?
I'm doing good, man. I'm blessed.
It's an honor to have you on here, man.
Yes,
thank
sir.
you for your time. We know we caught you right in OTAs and all that. Cornell, just tell the people a little bit about yourself, you know, your upbringing, your childhood, and things like that.
I'm from Greenville, North Carolina. I was raised by my mom with my brother. He's older than me, 6 years. I played sports all my life. All my family is from Greenville, honestly. I just grew up very humble beginnings and just hardworking. I get it all from my mom. You know, raising 2 kids on her own was definitely tough, but seeing her go to work every day and never complain, it really motivated me. So I just had this different mindset to always, you know, work for what I want, and I'm just really trying to just give back to her and one day retire her and make sure that she just can relax and just wake up, raise her grandkids, you know.
And you say you grew up in North Carolina?
Mm-hmm.
So growing up in North Carolina, it's a basketball-heavy state. Did you find yourself playing basketball at an early age?
Yeah, so I love basketball, man, especially during this time watching the playoffs and stuff. Like, it really brings me back to my roots. And, you know, unfortunately, I stopped growing at 6 feet. And, you know, down in North Carolina is real competitive. So I just transitioned into football, but basketball was definitely a sport of mine that I love.
Because I was watching something this morning, actually, and they were saying that everybody goes through that age process when they find out that they won't be the next Michael Jordan. So what age you find out, like, man, I ain't going to be Michael Jordan?
It was probably middle school, AAU days when, you know, that thing was like 7 a.m. and you got guys just jumping out the gym. 7 a.m. ain't even stretched yet, and I'm like, bro, I can't do that. I can
take my time.
Yeah, that ain't me. Ain't even warmed up yet. So I think it was around that time, and then like I really started taking football seriously and seeing that I had a shot at it. So
Okay. And, you know, now we're fast forwarding to high school, you know. You're 6 feet, you say, you know, you playing football.
Yeah.
When did you start to know that, you know what, I could take this game of football the long way? I can get out of here.
The game became easier to me 9th grade. I played quarterback all the way up until 9th grade, and my varsity coach was like, you could either start on JV at quarterback or start a receiver at varsity. So chose varsity, and then it was just so easy, especially playing quarterback all my life. I knew, like,
The system.
how to read a defense. I knew the system. I knew what to expect as a wide receiver. So it just made the game so much easier. And I just took off sophomore year, junior year, and senior year. I had 1,500 yards each year, broke the record.
Dog.
So, a lot of records and stuff like that. So it was real simple.
And, like, when did the recruiting process start to kick in for you in high school?
After my junior year, so my freshman year, we struggled. We were like 3-7. Sophomore year, we took off. We went to the 4th round of playoffs, and then I got my first offer, Ole Miss. I'll never forget. The coach talked to me before the game. We were playing Conley, our biggest rival, playoff game, 3rd round, and I was like, the previous game I had like 300 yards. I was like, man, I'm finna get 300 yards. He was like, you get 300 yards this game, I'm gonna offer you right here on the spot. I had 308 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 kick returns.
Take that.
What? And man, the next day, the next Monday, offer letter in my head coach's office. I'm like, dang, it's crazy. And like how offers work is, it's like once one big school offer you, the rest of them want you. And so after Ole Miss came, and they just start flooding in, and then the process started, and it was tough because you got people promising you everything, this and that. You only get 5 visits, so you gotta like choose wisely. You really gotta do your own research, man, and pick the best school for you, to be honest.
So just speaking about high school, man, how important is it to go to those camps, you know, those where, you know, all the running backs and receivers and linemen and all that? How important are those?
I got an unpopular opinion about it. I feel like a lot of them are money hungry camps. Most of the drills at the camps are very unrealistic compared to what you're going to actually get in the game. But it's something that you got to do. So the rivals, the Nike Sparks, Under Armour camps and all that, man, you guys got to do it, and you just got to go out there and be a dog, you know, just
get those ratings.
Yeah,
because even now it's like in South Florida, football is like damn near king, and we see all these 7-on-7 camps, and even when you go to one, you're like, you know, this ain't even real football anymore. Like the kids now, you know, they wearing the ski masks now. They got on hats, they got on sunglasses, and you're like, that looks cool, but bro, we trying to focus on football. And then when you get to August, September, and they got those pads on, they look like a whole different player. So
it is, man. When you implement the physicality part of the game, it really shows you who is who, you know. But you know, it's entertaining. It's good for the sport. It's entertaining. It's bringing in money and views and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it ain't football for real. So. And
you mentioned, you know, 5 visits. Did you take all 5 visits?
No, I was stupid. I did not.
Where'd you take your visits to?
I went to NC State a bunch in North Carolina, but those are all
down the street, man.
I was down the street.
Down the street.
I was loving it. I ain't know no better. And my only visit, honestly, was Clemson.
Okay.
And bro, I fell in love, and I probably would have fell in love with any school I officially visited first. But Clemson just happened to be the first one, and then you know they like this rule. They got this rule where they treat it like a marriage. You know, if you commit, then you can't go visit other schools and stuff like that. So
you fell for that right there, man.
So I committed my junior year, and I ain't go nowhere else.
And what about Clemson like just drew your attention?
The campus is amazing. The people are genuine. They didn't lie to me. They didn't offer me anything but a chance to compete and win national championships. And I mean, that's exactly what we did there. You know, got so many guys, especially at wide receiver, who are in the league now. I won 2 national championships, and you know, I just can't complain about what the outcome was. I made it to the NFL. So,
and then transforming from high school, now you're on Clemson's campus, man. And it's, most people like to say it's the SEC school and the ACC.
Yeah.
How was that first day, like just being a freshman, wide-eyed, and you don't know what's going on? What was like the transition?
Clemson University is Clemson football. There's nothing else there, and meaning, bro, like everyone in the city knows all the players. So walking on campus that first day, you got people coming up to you. You're like, dang, how you know me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Know my whole background, we have family and everything, and it just make you feel good. It honestly make you feel good. So I would always recommend going to a school that's in a football town. Like, it just makes the experience so much better. And you have a lot of perks with that too, you know, like people are willing to do stuff for you or whatever. But it was just different, man. It was just felt like I was like, I'm in a whole different ball game right now. School was tough though, especially at Clemson. But you know, it was all worth it.
And you speak on the highs of Clemson and all the great things that come out of it. You know, obviously there are some lows that people go through in life. What was like the trials and tribulations that you had to go through as being a top athlete at a top premier school? What were some things that you had to go through?
It didn't happen right away for me. My whole athletic career, I've always been the best of the best. I've never been like overlooked or not picked, so to say.
Right.
And my freshman year, you know, I played here and there. I really just wasted my freshman year because we had a lot of guys, and sophomore year the same thing happened. We got new guys cycling in and stuff like that with 5 stars, and like it just wasn't happening. And then I just realized, like, man, I've almost transferred after my junior year, and came back home. I always went to ECU and just said, you know, I come back home, be the hometown hero and stuff. But it really challenged my faith. It really challenged who I was as a man. I'd never been a quitter. I talked to my mom about it, and she was like, I feel like this is the place for you. You know, you chose this place for a reason. And then that helped me get closer to God. I met my fiance actually at the time, and she helped me with it too, just my mental. Man, I was all messed up. Like, I was like, man, forget school, all of this. Like, because I really just came here to play football, to be honest, and it really wasn't working out. So that was probably the hardest part, of just being patient and having to, you know, put in the extra hours and really separate myself and just change my lifestyle, change my mindset about football, which I love. So
I think that's some good knowledge for those who do, you know, go out of state to play ball. Josh, you even, you know, said it yourself, like, there's a lot of times that you just wanted to go home because you're away from home.
Yeah.
You don't, know things, and then shit, it gets hard.
Yeah.
And how crucial was it to have that support system? Because, I mean, obviously, everybody look at you. You're supposed to be a macho man. You're here for football, but they don't understand that it's a whole mental aspect side to it that besides outside of football that you're going through.
Yeah.
So, like, how was it for you to have that support?
It was big, man, and it was so critical because I go home. Like, I stopped going home for like a whole year because every time I go home, you got everybody asking you. No, you just got. I missed it too, but you got everybody asking you like, man, why you not playing? Why you not this? And I ain't have an answer for them. It's just tired of explaining. Like, bro, I really don't know, man. Like, you know who I am. You see me play in high school, like, and I know who I am, but it's just not my time right now. And so, just to avoid those questions, and I feel like that was hurtful to my mental too, like blocking out home because I didn't want to have to deal with it and stuff. And then like I'm missing Christmases, I'm missing Thanksgivings. Like, I haven't had a Thanksgiving home. This past year was my first year of Thanksgiving home in 5 years, and like, man, that means a lot, especially Thanksgiving for me anyway, family. But it was just so tough. And then having my support system, I got closer to God. I started my relationship with my fiance, and it just changed everything.
And then on the up and up, you win 2 national championships at Clemson, selected 5th round by the Kansas City Chiefs. Tell us about that feeling.
That was, to this day, it was the best day of my life so far. Being drafted to the Chiefs, I just feel like, those 5 long years, all those 5:30 workouts, the long nights, everything was, it paid off, and I made it. I feel like that I accomplished everything that I set out for in my youth. Like, I was like, man, I want to play in the NFL, and I actually did it.
Right.
And I was just so satisfied in that moment when they called my name, when I got the phone call, and like nothing else mattered, bro. Like, nothing else mattered. I felt like I was on top of the world, so it meant the world to me. That's my best day of my life so far.
And they really say when you get drafted, your life can change overnight. For you, how quickly did things come at you once you got drafted? I mean, how did your life change? I mean, did your phone start blowing up? Did you start hearing from your cousins from different parts of North Carolina saying, hey, cuz, I need tickets and stuff?
Man, it definitely, so it was like, it was crazy because it was like a week transition period. I had to pack, and I had to fly here for OTAs and stuff. But yeah, I mean, everyone. It was more so tickets on my end. Everyone wanted the tickets to come see me play and stuff. And the Chiefs, they had just won the Super Bowl, and so all the hype around the team was like, everybody want to come see the Chiefs play and stuff. I didn't even know what the ticket system was yet, and everybody asked me for tickets. You know what I mean? I ain't even got a place here to live, but it was good. Nobody asked me for money, which was also like relieving, because you'd be surprised, man. Some people just.
The stories you hear,
the stories are so real, but I feel like I don't mind people asking me for tickets to come see me play. Like, man, especially it was people who watched me grow up and followed me my whole life. So I feel like, honestly, I owe them that. Like, all right, man, you know what I'm saying? You've been following me, and on your dime, I can look out for you for a ticket or two.
It's probably just that feeling of they've been there, they want to continue to be there. So it's like that feeling that is gonna help fill that void.
Definitely.
And then a lot of people, they want to ask about the tickets as soon as they see you get drafted. But a lot of people don't understand that you really weren't even on the team just yet. So tell us about that process of just training camp, your first year.
Training camp, it comes, and it's about a month and a half. Well, OTA is about a month and a half, and then training camp is like a month. And it's just a grind. You really just trying out for the team. If you're not a solidified guy on the team, you're really just trying out. They can cut you at any given moment. They can, put you on practice squad, which I was, and and it's a whole different ball game at that point. So once you get drafted, like, you have to enjoy that day, you have to enjoy that week even. But once you get to wherever state you in, you just got to go to work, man, and because it starts, and this is a job now. It's not college anymore.
And then transitioning from the football aspect, now let's start moving into your life. How do you separate yourself from football? How do you like let people know, or what do you do to like say, okay, I'm just not a football player 24/7. I actually am my own person. What are some things that you like to do outside of football?
And you also have a foundation that you started as well.
do.
You should definitely chop up on.
The Powell Project, we're tackling breast cancer, diabetes, special needs kids. My cousin, he's actually autistic, and so just stuff that's near and dear to my heart. And then just giving back to the community. We got a book giveaway coming up. I did a Thanksgiving drive. I got a football camp coming in July. So just trying to impact the community in that aspect. But so it's just a different ball game, man, and just trying to, spread the wealth. I was blessed with so much. So many people poured into me growing up, and I just want to be able to give back to them.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, you talked about, giving back to the community and where you're from. Like, do you feel that type of responsibility that, hey, I am one of the guys that made it out of my hometown, and it's necessary for you to start reaching back and trying to lift others up from your community?
Absolutely. I feel like it's imperative. I mean, we're not going to grow unless, we start pouring back into our own communities. And, I have the platform, I have the needs to do it. So why not do it? I feel like it would be selfish on my part if I just turn my back on the people in the city who made me who I am today.
Right, and just speaking on prior episodes, talking to certain people, I definitely seen it. Everything I hear about him from other people is like, nah, like this person helped me. And that's something that he kind of, he wants to live in his purpose and what he knows he's here, for calling and stuff like that, just to reach down and pick everybody up, or at least touch everybody and leave a handprint on different amount of people, you know what I mean? So I think that's big.
And then you mentioned breast cancer and diabetes. What made you want to go into that aspect with your foundation?
My grandmother, she had breast cancer. She beat it, and then it came back, and she beat it again. Mm-hmm. And then my school mom, Liz Upton, she was everybody's go-to person in high school, man. From my freshman year to my senior year, no matter what it was, who it is, she got me through relationships. She got me through bad games, personal issues, anything. I could always go to her. She had cancer, breast cancer. She beat it. Then it came back my senior year, and I went out to college at Clemson, and I couldn't even come back. I didn't even get to come back for the funeral because of my schedule and stuff. But she passed. She ended up passing, and it just took a toll on the whole school, man. You can ask anybody who's ever been to Rose while she was there, and they have 100 stories about her and how good she was as a person. So I just feel like I just wanted to make sure that they're honored in the way they are for their fight, and they're never forgotten.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember you mentioning how your fiance now really, had an impact on your mental. Mm-hmm. And, as you guys transition into, getting married and stuff like that. And how important is it to have that strong foundation, or just the people who are around you, because you are within a limelight, right? You have a name and stuff like that. It's easy to get in trouble. It's easy to tag your name to a lot of things. So how important is it just being around the right people, having the right people around, in your corner?
It's so necessary to have people who are on the same mindset, wavelength as you, and also to have people who you can be vulnerable to and not, put up this visage for social media or for your job or whatever people paint you out to be. Because, at the end of the day, we human. We go through things. We feel things. We got family issues. We got, relationship issues. We have friendship issues. And, everything that everyone else is going through, we are too. We just have more on our plate as well, So having people who you can come back to and just be yourself, and, you don't have to take pictures, or you don't have to pretend to be someone. You can just be genuinely who you are. It's very helpful to your mental. It's very helpful for you spiritually, physically, everything, emotionally, man. Just being able to just get it all out and not feel like you have to hold it all in or be this rock.
And how do you navigate that? If you were speaking to younger players that were coming up, how do you navigate that small circle? Because you do feel like, okay, once you make it, people may tend to act a little bit differently now just because you do have a little bit more money to your name. So how do you go about that?
It's not gonna just happen overnight where you have a big friend group. Everyone who has a big friend group, you're gonna see over the years you just drift away from people because they're going on different paths, and that's fine. You know, you don't love that person any less.
Right.
You just have to move differently, and you know, it's still okay to hang out with that person, but just the frequency that you hang out with these people, or that you communicate or be in situations with these people, you know, if they keep putting you in positions where it's like your career on the line, you just got to separate yourself from them, and you just got to have people around you who want the best for you, you know, whether you had it all or whether you lost it all the next day. And honestly, like that saying, like when everything is bad, the people around you who's still around you, those are people who are really down for you, you know. Like I got cut my rookie year, and then I got re-signed, and like during that period, you know, the people who were around me who kept motivating me and knew like it was gonna be better, like they're still around me today, so it was very helpful.
I mean, you sound like, you know, you're a very strong person spiritually and faithfully, you know, with the man upstairs. Like, how did that, you know, come about? Because, I mean, you know, myself, I've always grown up, you know, in a religious household, but I didn't understand the difference between being spiritual until I got older and I got into college, and I was like, okay, now this is my own personal connection with God. So how did that come about with you?
I would say almost every Sunday from the time I was born to my senior high school, when I was back home, my mom took me to church. I was an usher at the church, you know, helped out, went on church trips and stuff like that. But when I got to college and like had all this free time, and you know, I didn't have a church to go to at Clemson, I really had to learn and understand God for myself. You know, not what, you know, my mom taught me or what I was raised on, but just God in general for myself. And you know, I just became a believer again, honestly, and it was just so different when I understood and like started reading the Bible and started understanding the scriptures and stuff like that and applying it to my daily life. And then you got to find people around you who are on that same track, like, you know what I'm saying, they live by that same code that you live by. And you know, it just makes it so much better to be able to just talk about God and talk about the Bible with someone else and just live it out with them.
And then taking advantage of just the opportunity that we have to sit down with you. You know, we may have some kids that are watching and may have some certain type of questions, but it's like when you make it to the NFL, you know, you sign that check or you get that signing bonus, you know, how do you function with the money that you're now making, right? Because obviously you might not have grown up with having that much money or seen someone who has the money that you have now. Like, how do you, you know, navigate that?
First of all, the government is going to take half of it. That's just off rip. Whatever you think you make, just take half of it. The government's going to take that. And then after that, enjoy it. By all means, enjoy it, man. You earned it. You worked your whole life for it. So have fun with it and do things, go places. But at the same time, you have to save twice as much as you spend. You have to, because you know it's going to run out one day, and you know, well, football is going to end one day, and you have to be able to, when it ends, you have to be able to live comfortably, stress-free, without worrying about where I'm going to get my next paycheck from. So enjoy it, but save twice as much as you spend.
Be smart with it.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, you have any big plans for this upcoming season, man? Any achievements that you want to accomplish individually, man. And then you can go into the team aspect?
Individually, I want to make the 53-man roster. I want to play every game. I want to go to the playoffs. I want to be a reason why we win this year. And then for the team goal, man, it's always been one goal, is to win the Super Bowl every year, man. We came so close last year. And everyone on the team, everyone who's back in this locker room, we're hungry for it. We know what's at stake. We know what it takes. So
We can get it. We'll get it.
Yeah, for sure.
Top 5 wide receivers of all time in your list.
All time. All right, Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, T.O. All time.
You got it. That's a solid list right now. You got 2 more.
Man, that's tough. I can't. I have to go to my generation.
Okay,
you know what
that's
I'm saying?
fine.
So I'm gonna say. Oh, I was not prepared for that question. I'm gonna go Julio.
Okay, one more. It's a solid list now, by the way, too.
I don't know.
This 5th one ain't
You ain't beating that 7-on-7.
No, you're not. I'm gonna just go with Devontae Adams.
Okay. Favorite place to play besides a home game?
The Chargers Stadium was fire.
Oh yeah,
It was fire. Yeah.
SoFi, right? That's SoFi.
Yeah, out there in LA, it was dope. It's new and it's like it's closed in, but it's still open on the sides and stuff in the middle. So it's dope. It was dope.
What has been your favorite memory of being in the NFL so far?
I would say the plane rides, especially on the way back after a away game. Share the stories that you can, because like us as fans, we don't get to see that whole process of what it's like to be on a plane. Everybody's
all we see is the pictures that y'all get taken off with your bag.
Yeah. It's just, man, after a win, man, it's just so like it's just everybody's loose, everybody having fun, just talking, everybody just just vibing and stuff like that, and it's dope. It's dope.
Cornell, it's been a pleasure to have you on this podcast, man. You've shed some light on some things that, we wanted to clear up. I mean, as far as being an NFL player and, telling us your story, the roots from North Carolina.
Yeah.
Man, it's been a pleasure. I hope you have a fantastic season. I hope y'all get that ring.
I appreciate
He's
that.
Ree Washington. I go by the name of Joshua Hicks. This wraps up another great episode of Opinionated, the podcast, season 3. Love, always.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Sir, I appreciate you, bro.
It's human nature for individuals to want what they can't have, but happiness is one of the few that is attainable. Your life matters. Your happiness matters. Your judgment matters. Now read those 3 words in bold. Those 3 play a critical part in being a better human being. What you put in is what you'll receive back. This week, be the best version of yourself. As always, see you later.